Hello, I am a nerd, and it has been said countless times. Dumbledore trusts Severus Snape. But why does Dumbledore trust Severus Snape so much is the question we ask ourselves so often when reading the Harry Potter series. Right up there with, when will Harry Potter read a mug Hogwarts a History? When will Harry and Ron read that book? It's a crazy question. But Dumbledore has some odd reasons to trust Snape. For starters, Snape is probably the most powerful legilimens in the world. I mean, there's no denying that. Snape can protect his mind from being read so much that Dumbledore trusts Snape with teaching Harry how to protect his mind. And well, Dumbledore getting Snape of all people, a teacher he knows Harry has problems with, and teaching him to protect his mind? That's kind of crazy, bro. Anywho, it only gets weirder because not only can't Dumbledore read Snape's mind to know whether he's loyal to him or not, but Snape actively was into the dark arts as a child. We're told this constantly. But the one thing that always stays constant is Dumbledore trusts Snape. So why does Dumbledore trust Snape so unwaveringly? Today we find out. We are nerds. I am a nerd! So, Dumbledore trusts Snape. Let's dive into the amazing power of why Dumbledore trusts Snape. It's a really, really long story, but just stick with me here. This video is for people who want to watch more long-form content, and I could do more of these if you like, by the way. So, Professor Snape was in a tavern the night that the prophecy was created. You see, it was the meeting of Dumbledore and Professor Trelawney that really started all of this off. And Dumbledore was meeting with this prophet, Professor Trelawney, and he didn't think much of her. That is until she started to have a strange prediction. The prophecy which would define Harry's destiny for the rest of his life. And Severus Snape overheard half of it, and Dumbledore had to pin him down so he couldn't hear the rest of it. Snape takes his information to Voldemort because in this time Snape is a Death Eater. But Snape actually learns, hey mate, this is crazy. Voldemort is going to kill Lily Potter. And Snape is in love with Lily Potter. Like, full on, I want the best for you type love. So he goes to Dumbledore and says, Dumbledore, could you please save Lily? You disgust me. That's actually a quote from the book. Dumbledore yells at him and says, you disgust me, Severus. You are a horrible human being. If you are okay with Lily's husband and son being killed just so you can be with her, you are disgusting, and Dumbledore is right. But when Dumbledore asks, what would you give me if I were to protect Lily Potter? Anything, Snape replies. So, Severus Snape has offered Dumbledore his life at this point to protect Harry Potter. And, well, they go on working with each other for the rest of the series. And then Lily gets killed while attacking the Potters, and Snape actually has to protect Harry however he can now because he's of his obligation to Dumbledore. Is it as simple as that? No. Is that the biggest FU to Snape that he ever received in his life? Yes. Let's get into how he saved the world. So, after all is said and done, Snape is Dumbledore's right-hand man. By the way, just going on a tangent here, if Snape is Dumbledore's right-hand man, and Dumbledore and Snape knew that Quirrell was a dark wizard, or at the very least somehow connected to Voldemort, Dumbledore definitely knew that that Quirrell was a Death Eater or something. And yes, Snape protected the castle when the teachers went to fight the troll in the dungeon because Quirrell got up and went to the third floor landing so he could get past Fluffy and get to the Goblet of Fire. But Snape, I think that Dumbledore would have wanted Harry and friends to kind of stop this on their own because he thought he had a right to it, and Harry even says this to us himself. Anywho, Snape is also a very powerful legilimate, and it's impossible to know whether Snape is tricking him. Because as the books go on, and Dumbledore and Snape is dead, and Voldemort returns, and Voldemort returns, and the wizarding world is in shambles, and the public doesn't know yet because the Ministry is covering everything up. Dumbledore sends Snape as a double agent to pledge his loyalty to Voldemort. And Voldemort accepts. After all, Snape does have the Death Eater mark. We actually never see if Draco does. We do in the movies, but not the books, and this channel runs on the books. So, why does Dumbledore trust Snape? Well, I've got some interesting answers for you guys. For starters, Dumbledore always knows that he has Snape's promise on his side. Dumbledore knows that he is still bullying Harry. Because, and that means that Snape still hates Dumbledore because, again, Snape is in love with Lily still because he hates James and all that, and he can see James's face in Harry. And above all, Dumbledore knows how people work. He can pick them apart from the inside out. And, well, Snape goes forward and he actually tries to... And, in the end, Snape is the only one who Dumbledore can trust fully to murder him. So, Severus Snape is actually is the only one Dumbledore can trust to properly murder him. Because Dumbledore, since the beginning of Book 6, has a strange covering on his arm. And Harry noticed this as they go to recruit Slughorn. And Severus Snape, he actually goes to great lengths to not kill Dumbledore. Throughout that entire book, the last thing Snape wants is to kill Dumbledore. And all the while, he has to protect Draco because of the unbreakable vow he vowed to Narcissa. And it gets worse. Because Severus Snape in this moment... Severus Snape is the only person Dumbledore can trust to kill him. I cannot emphasize that enough. Because he is the only one that knows the information about the prophecy. And he is the only one that Dumbledore can really rely on as well, and this is the much bigger thing he's trusting him to do, to protect his students after he's dead by siding with Voldemort. So, Severus Snape gears up to kill Dumbledore, and he says, and I quote, "Did it ever come across your brilliant mind that I don't want to do this?" And Dumbledore says, "Whether you wanted to or not, Severus, is irrelevant. You agreed." And this is heartbreaking for Snape, because he knows that he's going to have to kill Dumbledore, and it's going to be painful. So, at this point in the story, Draco has done what Voldemort thought he could never do. He has Death Eaters inside Hogwarts, and those Death Eaters are coming for Dumbledore. Fenrir Greyback, Bellatrix Lestrange, and many more heavy hitters, including Draco's dad, Lucius Malfoy. And Draco Malfoy can't go through with it, so with his unbreakable vow in the balance, and Dumbledore gives him the final push he needs to hear it through, "Severus, please." Not begging him not to kill him, but begging him to kill him. So Snape goes, "Avada Kedavra." And the reason the colour of the spell is different is because that spell was done out of mercy and not anguish. So, Snape has just killed Dumbledore and has aligned him as the new headmaster of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. So, you are Severus Snape in this school. So why do you want to kill Voldemort? You want to kill Voldemort, but you have to wait till Harry gets in to tell him the information. Dumbledore specifically told you, wait until he's safeguarding Nagini. And I think this is what happens. So, Voldemort is safeguarding Nagini as closely as possible, and Snape knows he has to tell Harry. But Voldemort kills him first for control of the Elder Wand. And at this point, Snape has proven his loyalty to Dumbledore, and I think that's why Dumbledore trusts Snape. Because he proved his loyalty in the First Wizarding War. Dumbledore even says, this loyalty is that Snape went to great lengths and personal danger to help us retrieve vital information or something along the lines of that. Anywho, Avada Kedavra, Nagini kills Snape, and I find it a bit hard to believe that Snape never used anti-venom here. I mean, Severus Snape not carrying the anti-venom that we know he had? Because, why would Nagini bite him, especially if Voldemort reveals he's a spy, and then not being prepared for Nagini's bite? Yeah, I'm starting to think that Snape survived, but that's another theory video. Comment if you want me to go into that one. So, Snape gives Harry his memory, and Harry has the final piece he needs to go into the forest and to die for the greater good. And that's the whole story. For my question of the day, do you like Severus Snape? It's a very divisive issue. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I can do more videos like this if you would like it, but I feel like I'm trying to attract a more long-form fan base with this type of video. It's experimental for now, but I would like to start doing more theory videos. We are nerds.